And here to analyze the escalation and more, Shai Franklin, Middle East analyst and partner at Gotham Government Relations. Shai, it's great to see you as always.
Great to be back.
All right, so we just heard Daniel Tzemach talk about this, about how things can change at a moment's notice along the security fence, along the Gaza border, and how any small incident can turn into a conflict. But the question that we always ask when we see incidents like these, is this a lone wolf attack? Is this somebody who has the blessing of Hamas? And when you see things like this, how much does it hurt the prospects for actual dialogue?
I think actual dialogue with Hamas.
Eventually.
Eventually. I don't think it really makes a difference one way or the other.
Okay.
And there are different factions within Hamas. Mm-hmm. So it's not like the U.S. military, which has this hierarchy. It's sort of a monolithic chain of command. Mm-hmm. They're different commanders. They control different factions within Gaza. There's local, there's from overseas, there's Iranian influence. There's a lot of things that could be happening. I think there are definitely people on the Hamas side who want to maintain this sort of deal with the Israelis, mm-hmm. Where they don't go too far and they don't cross red lines, and then Israel doesn't launch some major attack. They pushed a little bit. Israel attacked the Hamas facility. Why anybody would approach the fence and try to cross over from Gaza is other than as a protest, a public protest, but to try some actual military attack like that, there's no way to succeed. He did injure these Israelis, right. But there's no way he was going to get away. They see him coming. They see them. They've got all kinds of electronic surveillance. Right. They have every inch, every centimeter covered. So there was no military strategy involved here.
All right, let's talk about the other, speaking of the military, the other big story that we're following today from Israel, and this has to do with at the northern border, referring to the Golan Heights, and the report that came out that there was an Israeli strike on a Hezbollah target, what they believe was a Hezbollah target, on the Syrian side. Listen, we're accustomed to hearing that the IDF, that Israel will launch strikes deeper into Syrian territory. This is something that was quite a bit closer to Israel's northern border. How problematic or worrisome is this because they're so much closer?
Let's remember that not so many months ago, Israel announced they'd uncovered tunnels, mm-hmm. That would have come right, or actually did come right onto the Israeli side. So, and these were pretty serious tunnels. You almost had easy pass set up. So the fact that this stuff is going on all the time, and the Israelis are aware of things, and the question is when they strike, when do they not strike? Sometimes they use jets, sometimes they use missiles or rockets. Just a few days ago, Israel struck in Iraq. They struck Iranian targets in Iraq.
North of Baghdad.
Yeah. So near or far, and they're not going to take out everything, but they take out, and sometimes there's something very, very immediate, very urgent that they need to do. We don't usually find out about it until many months later. Remember, they took out in Syria. It wasn't Hamas or Hezbollah. It was actually a Syrian nuclear research facility a number of years ago with actually North Korean technology. They took that out. Syria denied that it was nuclear or whatever, but they do what they need to do. And this isn't the kind of thing that's going to escalate, I don't think.
Very quickly, Jared Kushner is still making the rounds. He's wrapping up his trip to the region in Morocco tomorrow. And then he will come back and brief the White House and the president on what kind of progress came out of the talks. If I could just pin you down here, when do you expect to hear the details of the political aspect of this deal of the century?
Sometime after the 2020 election.
Really? That late?
I don't think there is. They haven't really thought through the political aspects. If he was looking for some consensus from Arab leaders, he didn't get it. The economic component is mostly theoretical at this point. I don't think he came away with any deals, any commitments. If he got commitments from the King of Jordan or the King of Morocco or the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, that would be big news.
All right, Shai Franklin, we have to leave it right there. It's great to see you as always.
Great to see you.
Thank you.